And from the ashes of tragedy, the phoenix rises again, poutine in hand and sourpuss frown on face. Hello everyone, it is I, Richard from RPG Fortress. This is the first video after I lost everything when my hard drive died. Spoilers. Suggestion. Back up your shit, dude. Just back it all up. See, the thing is, the drive that died was the drive that was supposed to be the backup, but getting lazy, I would just record and post and copy everything directly to the emergency hard drive. So there was no backup. The backup was just the primary save. And when that drive died, not only did I lose, like, all my episodes of Star Trek and all of the music that I had ripped from CDs from over the past decade, but I lost all of my YouTube stuff, all of my recorded footage, all of my settings, all of my templates. I also lost all of the music that I have been in the process of recording or have recorded over the past 11 years. So, back your stuff up. The drive is currently with a man in a shop. He says he might be able to save some things. That'd be pretty cool if he could. If not, I've kind of accepted that it's all gone. This is partially why I sound a little bit different now, because I've had to set up my recording stuff all over from scratch, and everything's going to sound a little bit different. It's just the way it is. So we're moving forward. We can't give up, even though there was a day there where I was very intent on giving up. But doing YouTube videos and recording music for my captive audience of, 17 and a half people, those are my hobbies. They give my life some structure other than wake up, have a shit, go to work, come home, go back to sleep. So without those hobbies, there's my nihilistic existence becomes even more nihilistic. And let me tell you, I can't get any more nihilistic than I am right now. So we're pushing forward with the video. This week was supposed to be the let's review every single Sega CD, RPG, and RPG adjacent game, but I lost all my footage and my script, so I'm doing it all from scratch. You'll see that 2 weeks from today. It's gonna be fun. There's some weird games on the Sega CD that I want to talk about. But today we're just gonna do a kind of a relaxed, chilled out discussion on some games that I have been playing. Some that were supposed to be for content and some that are not for content. One of my things that I do to relax is before I go to sleep, I'll lay down in bed with a game and play it for an hour or two. That's how I finished AI the Somnium file, so there's no footage recorded for that. I'm currently playing Solo Hackers 2. There's no footage for that because I just play it on my Steam Deck while I'm trying to go to sleep. Whereas Astlibra, I very specifically recorded a whole load of footage because I wanted to do a whole video on that game. But now I can't because I lost all of that footage, including like 24 incredible looking bosses. So yeah, let's start there. Let's start with Astlibra. Astlibra is a game that I got on Steam. It's kind of a 2D side-scrolling platformer action RPG. It kind of scratches the same itch as Zelda 2 or Ys 3. Yes, I like both of those games, I know. It's, at first it just felt like another just side-scroller action RPG, but after playing it for close to 100 hours, it is a lot more than that. It is a very deep and compelling game, both gameplay-wise and story-wise. The gameplay, it's got your action platforming, hack and slash monsters, all of the normal things that you would find, but there's system upon system upon system built to make this game incredibly different. So you can collect weapons, armor, shields, and accessories. The weapons, they're all very different. You've got two-handed swords, one-handed swords, two-handed hammers, one-handed hammers, axes, all kinds of things, and they all teach you a skill or give you an item when you master them. So you'll want to play the game with every single weapon to unlock a new magic attack or some stat points to go towards the crystal system, which we'll talk about in a bit, or sometimes you'll just straight up get an item out of it. Same thing with the armor and the shields. There's literally about 50 weapons, 50 pieces of armor, 50 shields, and they all teach you something different. So you'll want to collect all of them and learn everything. There's just a lot right there immediately to go with. On top of that, there is also alchemy. You've got several different alchemy books to teach you different things. Some will make healing items, some will make food, which gives you growth points, which is something for a different system. Sometimes you'll get an alchemy book to make potions, a book just for recipes. There's a lot to make and a lot to find. The item screen by the end of the game, I had like 12 pages of just mountains of items. On top of that, you've got the growth system, which you when you kill enemies or eat food, you gain force crystals, and you can use force crystals to go on this gigantic grid. Imagine the Final Fantasy XII grid, but literally about maybe 9 or 10 times larger. It's absolutely massive. And as you're working your way through this huge grid, you use force points to unlock skills and stat ups and items and spells. I think you've got 8 different types of force crystals, and they each do something different. Like, one will unlock attack up boosts, one will unlock magic up boosts, one will unlock items, one will unlock spells. And as you unlock things, you can also earn, like I said, magic crystals. Magic crystals are for another system. You've got this little buddy, Charon the Crow. He has his own little selection of skills that you can learn with these little green magic crystals. They're usually like quality of life improvements. Like, one is a double jump, one is a dash. A lot of them are spells. Some of them give you attack bonuses. Some of them give you armor bonuses. A really good late game one allows you to equip a shield when you have a two-handed weapon equipped. Very powerful stuff. So yeah, the gameplay is immense and massive, and there is a lot to do. And the story is bonkers. Spoilers, I guess, for the next maybe minute or two. You start off kind of not knowing who you are, what you're doing. You're just a young boy in a cabin. You keep getting these little memories of a little girl who you seem to know. But your only compatriot is this crow named Charon, and he's with you through most of the game. He leaves a couple of times but comes back. It's a very... the story is basically you doing, your typical fantasy stuff. There's a girl in a village dying from poison. Go to a cave and get medicine to bring her back to life, or go to this floating city and you have to kill this guy to do this thing. Your standard stuff. But as you move forward, you realize that you're stuck in this immense time loop. And it's not like a Star Trek time loop where it's like, oh, we've done this same the same scene 7 times. It's like, oh no, you've been trapped in this time loop for like 90 million years, and it's just bonkers. You go from one scene fighting goblins, then you're in mega city Tokyo in like the year 3000, and there are guys in mech suits trying to kill you, despite the fact you're just running around with a sword and a shield. There's lots of DNA manipulation, time manipulation. People are robots who you don't think are robots. There is the Earth is its own creature, which has been. It's just, there's so much. It's like, even like I'm not huge into retelling stories. There's 1,000 YouTubers who do it a lot better than I do, but the story is so in-depth and complex that even the story alone, if you're not into action RPGs, just turn it on easy and go play it just for the story alone. And this is another one of those indie games where it's like one guy worked on it for 15 years and is finally out, and like it has no market penetration. So if it sounds interesting, go give it a play. I got it on discount on Steam along with Chained Echoes. I think they were both combined for like $40 each. So it's not a full price $69, $79, $89 game. It's well worth your time, and I really regret that I don't have a full 25 minutes to devote to it, but like I said, everything's been lost. Next up, I've started playing Soul Hackers 2, as you can tell by the thumbnail of the episode, and I like it. I think it's fine. It's not Persona 5, it's not Persona 4, it's not a 10 out of 10, it's not an 11 out of 10, it's probably not even an 8 out of 10. I don't give numeric scores, but if I did, I'd probably give the game a 7. It's adequate. It has some parts that are pretty cool, some parts that are pretty lame, but overall, it's fine. It's not nearly as bad as some people make it out to be. It's not great. It's not perfect. But I subscribe to the fact that sometimes you want to play a game that's not perfect. You know, for every Final Fantasy Tactics you play, you might want to play a Final Fantasy 2. It just gives you perspective on why a good game is good, why a bad game is bad, or in the case of Soul Hackers 2, why a mediocre game is mediocre. What do I like about it? I like the setting. It's got that very cyberpunk kind of near future setting. The characters are adults, which as an adult, I'm totally down with. One of my favorite SMT games is Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, and you play a bunch of adults in that game. And I understand why all the Persona games now are all teenagers, because obviously it's gonna have more market penetration. More people are going to pick up on, oh, these are relatable teenage characters, whereas not as many people are going to pick up on relatable adult characters, which is too bad, because the characters are probably the best part of the game. The characters are fun. They are all unique. They interact well with each other. It's all right. The story's fun. I'm looking forward to seeing where these little light snakes storyline is going. The combat, it's fine. You know, it's not nearly as complex as like SMT 4 or 5 or Persona 4 or 5, but it's all right. The music, once again, it's all right. It's not the best soundtrack I've heard from an SMT game, but it's adequate. I'm having fun. I'm going to play it all the way through to the end and probably never touch it again, but no, it's all right. Now, please nail me to the cross where I belong. Recently, as well as mentioned, I have played and finished AI, the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative. This is a Spike Chunsoft action-adventure kind of visual novel style game. you are a bunch of detectives, and you're trying to solve a crime of why these half bodies are appearing, like people split right down the middle, clean, no blood, no gore, just a nice clean cut straight down from the top of the head down to the bottom of the no-no zone, and plopped up around the country. Why is this happening? Well, get all of your near future cyberpunk friends and gear and little computer eyeball things that are AIs and try to solve the crime. I was a big fan of the first game. I played that all the way through and plan on playing it a second time. I liked it that much. Don't normally replay visual novels, but I liked it that much. The humor in these games are very silly, which is a good contrast to the very serious moments of the games. So you've got a really serious, who murdered the executive of this hardware, software, computer cult. Why have they been murdered? And it's put up against silly jokes like, I must drink this whole thing of soup. And I drank the soup. What kind of soup was it? Elephant. I'm sorry, can you say that again? The soup was elephant. It's just weird, bizarre, off-the-wall humor. Humor's very subjective. Not everybody's gonna like it, but it worked for me. I like to see it up against the more serious story. The characters are fun. You've got returning characters from the first game. You've got some all-new characters. Some side bit characters have returned for just a little bit, for a scene or two. It's, it was a good, fun romp. I even got all of the achievements for it. Something I don't always do, but yeah, with these games, a lot of fun to get all the achievements. Like everyone else, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm only a couple of hours into it, so I can't say a lot about it. It definitely plays like a Baldur's Gate game. It's definitely got all that D&D stuff you like. You got you're rolling for your stats, and you've got dice rolls, and you can. I'm a tiefling paladin, and that's fun. I've got this little vampire rogue guy kicking around with me. I've got a cleric. I've got a. What's the other girl? She's like a Gith-Yankee fighter who has like 10,000 actions every round of combat. It's good fun. Looking forward to see what happens with all the mind flayer stuff. I feel that whenever there's like a big D&D story, it's always like the villain is a beholder. So to see that it's like mind flayers this time, that's fun. And the fact they've also got a Gith-Yankee, which you don't normally see in a D&D game, it's fun. So much to do. Like last night, I finally broke down, like, okay, I'm encumbered. I need to sort out my items. My main character has about 100 different items. What is this? This is just a spoon. I can sell it for gold. What is this? Oh, these are blessed enchanted gauntlets that give me a bonus to saving throws. Okay. Oh, this is literally just a carrot. And it took me like an hour to sort through all of this junk. Some of it was great, some of it was not. It's a big game. There is a lot to see and a lot to do. I think I'm only in the second area. And I don't even think it's actually the second area. I think it's just an offshoot of the first area. It's pretty wild. Having a lot of fun with that. I've also been playing too much Magic the Gathering Arena because it's a drug. I made a green historic brawl deck, which has all of these enchantments and characters and mechanics that, like, whenever you play a land, gain life, or do this to gain life, play a land, draw a card, destroy a land, draw a card, and gain life. It's got some big stompy guys in it. I'm not the most cerebral Magic the Gathering player. I usually just get in there with big stompy stuff or little stompy stuff and go wild. Like my decks I have right now, I've got the big green stompy deck, I've got a quick little red weenie deck, a quick little white weenie deck, and I've got a black deck, which I'm very bad at, which is based off of, once again, it's a historic brawl. Braids is my commander. There's a lot of like milling cards, which I'm pretty new to the whole mill thing. So I'm discarding cards to hurt the enemy. I'm making them discard their cards to hurt themselves. It's a lot different from just like, here, punch, ugh, the caveman, punching you in the face. It's much different. It's fun, but I definitely gotta work on it. The last game I'm playing is Peglin, which there's not a lot to say. It's like Peggle, but you are a cute little goblin, thusly the name Peglin. It is very cute. It is very Peggle. You have RPG mechanics. You have roguelite mechanics. And that's really it. When I want to calm down a bit, I chuck it on and play a couple of rounds. And it's good fun. It's very good fun. And those are the games that I've been playing, which, I'm just aghast that I lost all of that Astlibra content, because it was going to be a big, glowing love fest for that game. Oh well, maybe one day. I still need to do the finish it on hard mode achievement, which I don't know if I can. Even on easy mode, that game was very hard for me, because I'm not big into the action games. Demon's Soul, Dark Souls, all those games, I love them, but I'm terrible at them, so I never really get too far. I did finish Demon's Souls back in the day, so that's one achievement, I guess. Haven't beaten any of the Dark Soul games, or Bloodborne, Sekiro. That's my phone with a Shining Force related message, so I think that marks the end of the episode. We've been talking for about 20 minutes. So, like I said, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have more proper content. You've probably noticed my lack of my chibi avatar. I lost all those files, and I forgot who the artist was, so I can't contact them to get them to send me the files again. This was like 5 or 6 years ago. So those, Chibi Richard, R.I.P. Chibi Richard. I'm going to have to get somebody from Fiverr to do me up some new art. So yeah, you'll see that eventually. I lost the music that I wrote, plus the video game music that I used for background music. So I've had to quickly scramble and find the Shining Force soundtrack just for some background music. Oh, it's a nightmare and a tragedy. Back up your files. And that's it. Thank you for listening to my little ramble cast. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back in 2 weeks for the Sega CD retrospective. I'm Richard for RPG Fortress. What do I normally say here? If you want to help out the channel, you can do one, none, or some of these things. You can like the video. You can leave a comment. You can share it with a friend. There's a bell that can be rung. You can subscribe or membership, or you can send a super thanks. I don't even know what half of this stuff is, to be completely honest. There's a Patreon out there. There's also a Ko-fi out there, I guess. Buy a shirt. There's all kinds of shirts. Most of them are metal shirts from my metal bands, but there is one or two RPG related ones. Fucking pet a cat, pet a dog, pet a turtle. Wash your hands after you pet the turtle, though. Sometimes they have salmonella in their spit, or is that a Komodo dragon? Guys, I've been talking too long. I gotta go. I'm Richard for RPG Fortress. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and please don't forget to hug a cat. Goodbye. Where's my stop button?